A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I want A+ English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I want A+ English.
Hi everybody, welcome back to A+ English. I'm Pat.
And I'm Laura.
And we're on day 2 of our story article, The Art of Racing in the Rain. Now, although this is a story from a dog talking about his life and how he thinks he might become a man when he dies and comes back, family and the relationships between family members is a big part of this story. So we're going to warm up by asking, how often do you see family like aunts, uncles, cousins, grandmothers, and grandfathers?
OK， 所以我们今天要来聊有跟亲情有点关了吧？所以我们 warm up question 是问的是你多常见到你的家人啊，像是姑姑阿姨啊、叔叔舅舅啊，或者是堂或是表兄弟姐妹，还有爷爷奶奶呢 ？I'm gonna be very honest because my grandparents both sides they have passed away.
Okay.
So I think people are kind of they don't really gather as much. There's no like family reunions that often as before, but during the Lunar New Year,
of course,
for sure, people will come visit, or we go to people's houses and visit them, or when somebody gets married. So.
Okay.
Which is not very often, and also
no, there's a limit on how many times.
Thanks to COVID, you know, it makes it more difficult.
Yes, that cuts me down from one entire side of the family for the last 3 years or so. As my wife's family, depends which ones. Some of the aunties and grandma, we'd see a little. We live fairly close to them, so they want to see the 2 children. So maybe once a month, once every sort of 6 weeks, we'll find some reason to go and say hello, or they'll call around or something like that. Others who live further away, less often, obviously. Ones in the UK, I'd usually see those group of relatives probably at least 4 times a year. You would have 3 or 4 times. So every sort of 3 to 4 months, you'd plan a trip. We've got quite a close family in the UK. So what is the family situation that's going to happen here? Let's read through day 2 and find out more.
The Art of Racing in the Rain. Warm-up question. How often do you see family like aunts, uncles, cousins, grandmothers, and grandfathers?
Eve falls and hits her head. At the hospital, she gets some bad news. She has a serious brain tumor and has less than a year to live. Eve stays in the hospital for months. Denny often travels for his job. So Zoe stays with Eve's parents, Trish and Maxwell. When Eve leaves the hospital, she stays with them too. Denny only has me. When Eve is well enough, the Swifts go to a big family event. A teenage girl, Annika, gets a crush on Denny. When he is sleeping, she touches him in an inappropriate way. I see this and bark. Denny wakes up and stops her. He's very angry.
So you remember from yesterday, we left the story with Eve, the wife of Enzo's owner, Denny. She was having headaches. She wouldn't go and see the doctor. Enzo could smell that something wasn't right, but he couldn't tell her about it. And now things are getting worse. We learn Eve falls and hits her head.
Oh no! 所以果真呢，就是不去看医生，然后就把病拖得更严重。因为今天我们看到 Eve 她跌倒，并且撞到了头诶。And here we see our first word power word, which is the word fall. fall 在本课时当做动词来用，有摔倒啦或是跌倒的意思。我们来看一下动词三态的变化 ：fall, fell, fallen。For example, he fell badly and broke his leg. 他重重的跌倒，而且还摔断了腿哦。那这时候呢，我常常会回想到我曾经有发生过，就是我摔下楼。So be careful when you walk down the stairs. I fell once and I broke my toenail. 真的，我的大拇指的脚趾头整个就是整个翻掉，听起来很可怕。好，我们来看一下单字例句的用法。Amelia fell off the roof and broke her leg. 摔倒真的很恐怖诶。Amelia 从屋顶上摔下来，把腿摔断了。I hope she gets better.
We could also say older people often worry about falling in the shower.
That can be very dangerous.
Yeah, so that's why they get kind of extra things to hold on
right.
to. So, Eve has fallen. We see at the hospital, she gets some bad news.
Oh no. OK, 所以在医院呢 Eve 她接获了一些不好的消息。
And that is, she has a serious brain tumor and has less than a year to live.
What? This is serious. OK, brain tumor 是什么呢？就是脑瘤。没错，它是一个名字哦。它有严重的脑瘤，而且只剩下少于1年可以活诶。
Yeah, a tumor is a cancer, so this is growing in the brain, and brain tumors are almost like bombs. You
Yes.
can't go and cut them out because it's brain.
Yes.
And as soon as they get to a certain size, that's it. They will stop too many brain functions, and so somebody could just die just like that in those cases. And they're kind of hard to pick up as well. So that was causing Eve's headaches, but even then, they still didn't figure it out. So we learn Eve stays in the hospital for months.
OK, 所以这里我们看到 Eve 她住院住了好几个月。For 我们通常在接一段时间，就是表示持续多久，很多人都会忘记要放 for 哦。像是我好几个月都没有看到你了，就是 I haven't seen you for months.
Or you could say, I'll be on vacation for a week. So, Eve is in hospital, but we learn Denny, remember he likes to drive, he wants to get a job as a racer, racing driver. Denny often travels for his job.
OK, 所以这里我们回到的 Danny， 他经常因为工作而旅行哦。那这里我们提到了 travel 这个字 ，which is our second word power word。Travel 在本课是当作动词来用，有旅行的意思哦。I want to travel to lots of countries like Europe and Egypt. 我真的很想要去欧洲，还有这个埃及旅行哦。我们来看一下单字例句。Selena traveled to Canada to visit her family last summer. Selena 去年夏天到加拿大旅游，拜访她的家人哦。
Here's another example. The man travels between Taiwan and the US for business. So, Eve's in hospital. Denny keeps having to travel. Where does that leave Zoe, the daughter?
Right.
In a difficult situation. Luckily, there are other family members. We see, so Zoe stays with Eve's parents, Trish and Maxwell.
所以呢，这个我们不要忘了，她有一个女儿 Zoe， 对不对？她跟她的爷爷奶奶 Trish 还有 Maxwell 住在一起哦。
Okay, and we learn that when Eve leaves the hospital, she stays with them too.
OK, 所以当 Eve 她出院之后，她也跟他们住在一起。
Right, and that means that Denny only has me. And of course, this is Enzo talking, the dog.
那他就说 Danny 只拥有我而已 OK.
Yeah, just living in his house with his dog, traveling when he does. So we're going to go forward in time a bit here, and we see when Eve is well enough, the Swifts go to a big family event.
Nice. OK, 所以当 Eve 身体好一点的时候呢 Swift 一家人就参加了盛大的家庭聚会。OK, 不过这里呢，我们要提到我们第三个 word power word well， 它是一个比较特殊的用法，我们来看看吧。一般大家可能想说 well 不就是 good 的副词吗？ 不过在本课 well 是当作形容词来用，表示健康的。所以像是如果有人生病了，你要祝他早日就是康复，你就会说 get well soon。或者我们来看一下这个例句的用法。When Sally came home from school, she really didn't look well. Sally 从学校回来的时候气色啊，看起来真的很不好，可能是身体不舒服吧。我们来看一下单字例句。Jason doesn't look well. His face is very pale. Jason 看起来不太舒服，他的脸色苍白呀。
Here's another one. Ruby isn't well, so she can't go to school today. So they're saying they go to this family event when Eve is well enough.
Well enough. 其实我们常常会用一个形容词或者是副词再接 enough。OK， 像是 old enough， 他就是年纪大到老到可以足够做什么事情，或是 he's tall enough to play basketball or something like that.
Yeah. So this means when Eve's health is good, she's not in perfect health, of course, with a brain tumor, but she can go to a party, she can still have fun, she can do a family event, and it won't make her feel super tired or sick. In terms of enough, I could say my eyesight is not good enough for me to be a pilot, because they need really good eyes.
OK， 所以我们来看一下，刚刚还提到了 the Swift。The 如果再接一个姓氏，就是这个姓氏的一家人，所以课文 The Swift 当然就是指 The Swift 这一家人啦。
Yeah, the Swifts with the S, because then it's like all of them.
That's right.
Mine's a bit awkward because it's Woods, so it already has an S. So we have to make it the Woodses by adding ES. So any name that's that's got an S, like Jones becomes Joneses, Woods become Woodses.
So I would be the Lees.
Yes, you have the S on the end. Okay, so this is where things take another kind of strange turn at this party. We see a teenage girl, Annika, gets a crush on Denny.
Ooh, okay. But Denny is married, okay?
Yes, and older.
我们来看一下 crush 是什么呢？就是迷恋。OK， 它是一个名词。惨了，一位年轻的女生 Annika， 她喜欢上了 Danny。Yeah,
it is normal to get crushes in school, but they seldom last when we grow up.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of it's painful, it's my whole life, and then the next year it's gone. Okay, so she gets a crush on him. She kind of thinks, wow, he's so cool. He's a driver. He's handsome, whatever. And then we see when he is sleeping, she touches him in an inappropriate way.
I don't like the sound of that, okay? 所以当他在睡觉的时候，他用不太恰当的方式触碰了 Danny 哦。当我们用 in， 然后后面接 a 或是 an or the， 还有所有格。然后再接上一个形容词，然后再接上 way or ways， 就是以什么样的方式。这样听起来太复杂了，我们还是要听一下我们的 Magic Box 来了解它的用法。
Magic Box。
Hello， 大家好，我是 Isaac。今天就在跟朋友聊天的时候，他就传了一个创意料理的影片给我看，里面的人用了很特别的食材去制作这道料理，结果呢也帮助他呢最后赢得了比赛哦。The kid made this delicious dish in a special way. He won the competition in the end. 我自己是不太敢吃创意料理啊，毕竟有时候不知道这个食材是什么，还是会觉得怕怕的。好啦，那在刚刚那个例句当中呢，其实有提到今天要教给大家的这个 Magic Box。就是呢，介系词 in 后面加上一个定冠词 and a 的，或者我们可以加上一个所有格，加上一个形容词，加上 way， 表示的意思呢，就是有以点点点这样的一个方式哦。那这个用法当中的这个 way 作为一个名词呢，其实也是表示有方式或者是方法这样的一个意思，是不是很简单？那我们来造一个例句试看看哦，像是如果你喜欢用不同的方式来替换你的造型的话呢，其实你就可以说 I like to style myself in different ways。那这边有没有发现呢？这个 way 变成一个复数型 ways， 因为你变换造型的方法不止一种嘛，所以我们这边要用一个复数型。或者呢 ，Jenny likes to clean her room in her own way。Jenny 呢喜欢用自己的方式哦，就是去整理自己的房间。那我们呢在这个搭配使用上呢，其实也是可以搭配所有格来一起使用哦。好啦，那今天这个 Magic Box 就到这边咯，我们下次见，拜拜。
Okay, and we mentioned the word inappropriate. So yeah, the girl, Annika, she was touching Danny in an inappropriate way. Inappropriate 这个形容词就是行为举止不恰当的这样的意思。
Yeah, a way that you shouldn't do, a way that is not right. People would say, you can't do that. So you might say the boss is behaving in an inappropriate way by asking the female staff to wear short skirts to work. Okay, so yeah, Annika is doing this, but Enzo kind of saves the day here. We see I see this, Enzo sees this, and bark. I see this and bark.
Enzo 好棒哦，他就看到这样子的画面，所以他就怎么样？ 对，他就吠叫咯。这里我们来看到我们最后一个 word power word bark。bark 这个字通常我们就是用来表示狗的吠啊，或是叫这样的意思，它是一个动词哦。像是你们有这样吗？半夜听到隔壁的邻居的狗或是路边的狗大声叫，无法让你睡觉。Why is the dog barking in the middle of the night? I can't sleep. 再看一个单字例句。My dog always barks when the phone rings. 有欸，这个我觉得狗狗会做，就是我家的狗总会在电话响起的时候吠叫，大声叫。
We could also say the dog barks when a stranger comes to the house. That's generally what they do. So Enzo barks, he makes a loud noise, and we see Denny wakes up and stops her, Annika. He's very angry.
Yeah, and Danny had no idea because he was sleeping at the time. 所以 Danny 醒过来，并且阻止他，他非常的生气哦。
Yeah, like get your hands off, don't do that, that is wrong kind of thing. Now, we do mention this incident is quite important for what happens in tomorrow's part of the story, but we've got to wait till tomorrow to read it. Yeah, that's all for now, but let's go to our review time activity.
Review time.
So one of our word power words today was travel, something we're all very excited that we can do again. So we're going to ask some quick fire questions. This is when you ask people short, quick questions with very short answers, and you try to do it nice and quickly to get an idea. So let's do that with each other. Favorite place to travel to?
Japan.
Worst travel experience?
I went to a super dirty hotel.
Okay. Ever travel for work?
Yeah, Kaohsiung.
Okay. Best time of year to travel?
For me, it would be summertime.
Okay. Favorite person to travel with?
My boyfriend.
Plan trips or make things up as you go along?
Make things up as I go along.
Favorite airport?
I think there was a Singapore one that was pretty big.
Least favorite airport?
I don't remember.
Don't remember any bad ones. Okay.
What about you?
All right, go on then.
Favorite place to travel to?
Thailand.
Oh, worst travel experience. Make it short.
Nearly missing a plane to Ireland.
Oh, okay. Ever travel for work? Where
yes. Once to Japan, once to Germany.
Wow,
this is when I lived in the UK.
Best time of year to travel?
British winter. It's horrible. Get out of the country.
Oh, favorite person to travel with?
I'm going to kind of say yes, my wife, but also a group of friends from when we were in our early 20s.
Plan trips or make things up as you go along?
Love making things up, can't do it with a family.
Oh, okay. Favorite airport?
Hong Kong, actually. Really it's not a bad place to get stuck in.
Least favorite airport?
Bangkok, which is, I just don't like it there. No, it's not, I just don't like being there. It's always crowded.
Sorry, Bangkok.
Yeah, I like traveling to Thailand, just I don't like your airport, sorry. Okay, those are my answers. Yeah. Okay, what about you guys? What are you looking forward to about traveling again now that we all can? So that's all the time we've got for today though. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for part 3 of our story. Bye-bye.
Can't wait to find out.
The art of racing in the rain. Warm-up question. How often do you see family like aunts, uncles, cousins, grandmothers, and grandfathers?
Eve falls and hits her head. At the hospital, she gets some bad news. She has a serious brain tumor and has less than a year to live. Eve stays in the hospital for months. Denny often travels for his job. So Zoe stays with Eve's parents, Trish and Maxwell. When Eve leaves the hospital, she stays with them too. Denny only has me. When Eve is well enough, the Swifts go to a big family event. A teenage girl, Annika, gets a crush on Denny. When he is sleeping, she touches him in an inappropriate way. I see this and bark. Denny wakes up and stops her. He's very angry.
Word power. Fall. Fall. Fall, fell, fallen. Amelia fell off the roof and broke her leg. Amelia fell off the roof and broke her leg. Travel. Travel. Selena traveled to Canada to visit her family last summer. Selena traveled to Canada to visit her family last summer. Well. Well. Jason doesn't look well. His face is very pale. Jason doesn't look well. His face is very pale. Bark. Bark. My dog always barks when the phone rings. My dog always barks when the phone rings.
认识字汇
Brain tumor. Brain tumor. Crush. Crush. Inappropriate. Inappropriate.